Okay, so spring's passed and you planted tomatoes, maybe 5, 10 plants. Now you're feeling ambitious, but you told yourself I'll use everything I grow. You had a plan, and now it's August and your garden looks like a tomato factory that forgot to install the stop button. They're on the counter, they're in a bowl, they're in a bag. Your neighbor already stopped answering your door. You literally can't give them away because your coworkers are avoiding eye contact, and you just found three more hiding under a leaf you swear were not there yesterday. We got what we call tomato overflow. It happens to every gardener when you grow them right. And if nobody warned you about this, well, consider this your warning and your rescue mission at the same time. You know me, I'm Phil Davis, and today we're going to solve your tomato overflow problem. Now, we're not going to ignore it. We're not going to leave it on a bag of someone else's porch and run away. We're actually going to use every single tomato you grow. Because here's the thing, nobody tells the beginners when they start gardening. Tomatoes are only a problem if you don't know what to do with them. Once you do, they'll become the most valuable things growing in your yard. Now, let's get into it. First, let's talk about why this matters more than ever. Right now, I've done videos on this before. Tomatoes at the grocery store are almost up 40% compared to last year. That it is a pound of tomatoes that used to cost you $1.50 is now pushing towards 2.50, sometimes more depending on where you live. And we're not even going to talk about organic. Tomatoes growing in your garden right now are worth real money, and you let every one that you let rot on a vine or throw away is a dollar you work for and toss into the trash. So nothing goes to waste. Every tomato has a job. Now we're going to break this down in three categories: what to do right now, this week, and this month, and what to set aside for a long term storage so you feed it, well, it can feed you well into the winter. So, the right now, if you have tomatoes that are fully ripe and slightly soft, let those be your priority. Those are not long term tomatoes, those are today tomatoes. The best thing you can do with a fully ripe, slightly soft tomato is turn it into sauce. Yeah, pizza sauce. And people hear sauce and they think it's complicated. It's not. Just rough chop the tomatoes, toss them in a pot with a little olive oil, garlic salt, and whatever herbs you're growing nearby. Basil, oregano, thyme, whatever you got. Look in your counter too. Let it simmer for about 30 minutes. Blend it or don't. The chunky is fine. Pour it into freezer bags and stack them in your freezer so it looks like a bookshelf. And that's it. You made pasta sauce, pizza sauce, shack, sugar base, soup starter, and about 15 other things from tomatoes that would have been compost, on Friday. One big batch of sauce can fill up about 10 to 15 freezer bags. That's a winter's worth month of meals. One afternoon in the kitchen. That's what self-sufficiency looks like. It's not glamorous. It's a pot on the stove, a bag in the freezer, and come February, when everything costs too much, you'll be glad you did. Now, let's talk about this month, the middle path or medium term. If you have tomatoes that are ripe but still firm, those are your canning tomatoes, your dehydrating tomatoes, your salsa tomatoes. These have a little bit more time, so you have more flexibility. Canning is one of the big long-term storages that we can go deep into on part two of this series which is coming up next. But here's the skinny of it. You can preserve whole tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, diced tomatoes, and tomato juice in mason jars using a water bath canner, and they will sit on your shelf to 12 to 18 months without needing refrigeration or freezing. No electricity required. This is real food security sitting right in your pantry shelf. Dehydrating is another option, and honestly, it's kind of underrated. Sun dried tomatoes from the store are expensive. Sun dried tomatoes you made yourself from the garden will cost you almost nothing except a little electricity and a little bit of time. Slice them thin, put them in a dehydrator, 135 degrees for 10 to 14 hours, and store them in an airtight jar. They will last 6 months to a year in a cool, dark spot, and you could toss them in pasta, salads, sandwiches, eggs, or just eat them straight as a snack. Now, there's the salsa. We're not going to overthink salsa, although you salsa connoisseurs might think differently. Tomatoes, onions, jalapenos, serrano peppers, lemon or lime, cilantro, salt, garlic, chop it, mix it, done. Eat it fresh all week and can it for later. Salsa is one of those more popular things that you can can at home because it uses a lot of tomatoes fast and everyone actually eats it. Now, long term, that's a set it and forget it approach. The freezer is your best friend for tomatoes, and most people don't use it the way they should. And here's what a lot of people don't know. You can freeze a whole tomato without doing anything to it. No blanching, peeling, no sauce making. Just wash it, dry it, put it in a freezer, put it in a bag and freeze it. When you pull it out later, run warm water so the skin will slide right off. You have a perfect tomato ready for sauce, soups, stews, or whatever else you want for it, right? That's not going to win a beauty contest once it thaws, but it will taste like summer in the middle of January. And sometimes it's exactly what you need. And it can save you time in the upfront. You can roast the tomatoes before freezing, which concentrates the flavor and makes them even better. You can cut them in half, drizzle with olive oil. You can put them in the oven for 400 degrees until they caramelize and collapse. That's about 45 minutes. Then freeze them in portions. A spoonful of roasted frozen tomatoes goes into anything and makes it taste like you spend hours on it. Your food is doing the hard work for you, so you don't have to. One more thing before we wrap up. A lot of people are intimidated by food preservation. They think they have what it takes and it has to be perfect. They worry about doing something wrong, so they do nothing. And tomatoes rot and they feel bad. Here's what I want you to take away from this, right? Imperfect preservation beats perfect waste every time. Let me repeat that again. Imperfect preservation beats perfect waste every time. A lumpy bag of frozen tomatoes you made on Tuesday night is infinitely more valuable than a beautiful tomato that ended up in your garbage. You grew this food. It deserves a second chance in your freezer or pantry. If you're not cooking it, you're building a food system in your own home. That's what we're about here at Ancestry Lands. Use the land for whatever form it takes to give you and your family a little bit more control of what you eat and spend. Next, part 2, we're going to go all in on storage and preservation, canning, dehydration, and freezing in detail so you know exactly what equipment you'll need and you don't have to spend money on it or extra money on it. The video is coming up next. Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button and don't miss anything. Hey, if you want to know more, look in my description section. You can get my book, Getting Dollars from Dirt, and you can tell us what you're going to be growing. And there are description, affiliate links, and description section below for Amazon. Drop a comment. Let me know what you're doing. And let me know what's taking over your garden. Hey, I read every single comment. If this helped you out, give me the HMO special. Help me out by sharing this and tell me what you're doing with your tomatoes or what ideas you have to do in store. Help the community grow. I'm Phil Davis with Ancestry Lands. Thanks for watching. Now go save some tomatoes. That's it, folks. You can go to Ancestry Lands to start owning property today with payments starting at $250 a month, no credit checks, and owning land has never been easier. It's time to build your land portfolio one property at a time. We help you to get dollars from dirt and build generational wealth by owning small plots of affordable vacant land. Contact us to learn more. Oh, and speaking of dollars from dirt, I also wrote a book about investing in land for you readers out there. My book, Getting Dollars from Dirt, A Beginner's Guide to Vacant Land Investing, is on Amazon. The link is in the description section below. Inside, you'll learn simple, easy to read insights that will have you understanding why you should own land today. For more tips and tricks, subscribe for updates, comment below, and let us know what you enjoyed about this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
And remember, like and subscribe.